5 red lights here at the Spanish Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go. And it's a decent start from Max Ameland, who already looks to rival John Manning as they head now down towards turn 1. Max Ameland already into P2. Elyas Mohammed goes defensive as they head into the first corner. John Manning's going to sniff up the inside of Max Ameland and makes contact with Ben, who I think has actually lost loads of positions here. Ben in the runoff. He's now tumbled down as a virtual safety car deployed already. And wow, definitely some chaos then into turn 1 as Mika predicted. Ben had a horrific start and potentially almost got damage to his cars. Rico van Basten and Kvyat almost going side by side through the last few corners, and Rico van Basten comes into the pits because he's missing his front left end fence. But it's then Kvyat and Kevin Yerling who moves back up into P10 and rounds out the points.
Max is really close on the back of Elyas. I mean, he's gonna get a bit of dirty air now, but through the first sector he was 1/10 behind.
Bit of wheel banging, sorry, with Ben and Sebastian Krog. I think Ben maybe turned to Sebastian a little bit. Sebastian just giving him another nudge there and eventually backing off. But yep, just a bit of hot-headedness and a bit of wheel banging contact at turn 5. Fink is a little bit closer this time, and look at that, he's rinsing his battery. He's almost got none left here as he almost drops into 10%, and he looks like he's going to go for the move again on Elyas Mohammed here on lap 5. Max Ameland to the inside once again. Elyas Mohammed is going to try round the outside. Max Ameland has to leave him the space, and it's exactly how it went last time. Max Ameland stays in P2, and Elyas Mohammed is not giving this one up without a fight. As the Bobo, I wonder if Ben has disconnected from the session, and that is big drama for Ben as he is now going to get ghosted and overtaken quite easily.
As well.
Oh, Jack Davis is out. Jack Davis has he crashed somewhere? He's crashed. Look, he has gone off at turn 3 and safety car deployed. So this works perfectly for the medium runners. How many times have we seen this now where a safety car comes out perfectly with a gap to these front two? When will Elyas Mohammed go? Elyas Mohammed still looks good. He goes now just before the timing line, and John Manning has got a pretty decent restart on the Red Bull, and he's getting the slipstream now from Elyas Mohammed as they head now down into turn 1. It's Max Ameland versus John Manning. On the inside goes to Williams. Will Max Ameland be shuffled out? He is. He's shuffled out. Lebobo tries to go round us outside in P4 on the medium tyres. The hard tyres already not faring up well, as now his teammate behind him on the mediums will also look to get through. Kvyat has made a great stop onto P6. Fletcher Watson has dropped down from P4 to P7 as there's a bit of chaos in front, and Red Bull drivers maybe trying to orchestrate a move here as Max Ameland sends it down the inside of his teammate. He keeps his nose in, and Marcel Ho just has a drive round the outside. But a bit of a chaotic start there as Fletcher Watson seemed to have got mugged by a lot of the field.
Maybe being a bit too cold. Oh, he's going very wide on the gravel.
He's had a bit of a moment there, and that's going to allow Kvyat to get a great run on him with the medium tyres, of course. This is a move that he'll want to make as Max Ameland turns the battery off, maybe accepts against bait here. What will Kvyat do as he sends one up there? So Max Ameland almost leaves him no space. He really forces him out onto the curb. Kvyat thankfully doesn't react too badly, and he manages to continue on, but that was naughty from the Red Bull driver. Here comes John Manning for the move on the inside of Ferrari at the Spanish Grand Prix. Where have we seen this before? John Manning looks to try and take the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix as he's on the inside of Elyas Mohammed. They leave each other to space, and Elyas Mohammed for the first time is shuffled out of the race lead here at the Spanish Grand Prix, drifting wide in the dirty air. John Manning takes the lead, and what would the Williams be able to do in clean air in this race? And is Elyas Mohammed now going to return the favour as we head onto lap 15 down the main straight? Elyas Mohammed deploying the battery. He's got the DRS wide open to the inside. Goes to Ferrari. It's a nice swish, clean move for Elyas Mohammed, who retakes the lead and DRS swaps with John Manning. And Fletcher Watson also does the same to Max Ameland, who gets dive bombed by Ben at the last moment. Wow, what a move from the Ferrari driver. Whether Max Ameland saw that coming or not, that was fantastic. Yeah, Ben is coming into the pits as the lead changes. Retiring once again out the front, and Ben retiring. So another race where the second Ferrari driver will not finish, and well, I mean, he didn't look to have any visible troubles, and I imagine this will be a pretty easy move. Meanwhile, out in front, Elyas Mohammed getting awfully close to John Manning as they DRS swap once again, and Fletcher Watson does complete that move on Kvyat as we were looking at the front. It is wide for Elyas, and John Manning is now all over his rear wing. Not exactly where you want to be, but Elyas Mohammed dives into the pit, so he has had enough of these mediums, and this is probably going to spark a bit of a chain reaction as RZV has crashed out and a safety car is deployed. The top 3 though managed to get past the safety car before it exits the pit lane, and once again Elyas Mohammed having a bit of a moment with the timing of a safety car. But yeah, so John Manning, Le Bobo, Marcel Hull, once again the medium runners getting a cheap stop, taking the risk of staying out. And now surely they will just hop on a set of hards, as it's John Manning from Elyas Mohammed, then Marcel Hull and Le Bobo. Let's hope Fletcher Watson, for his sake, doesn't get mugged this time once again. But John Manning decides to go now, and Elyas Mohammed nails it pretty much perfectly and spot on here as they cross the start-finish line for lap 21 of 33. Elyas Mohammed in the slipstream, burning all of his battery. John Manning punching the hole in the air. He goes to the outside line, back to the inside. Elyas Mohammed to the outside line. The Red Bull looking to get involved too, and they make contact. Elyas Mohammed just squeezed out. He actually goes over the runoff, and through goes Marcel Hull on the Ferrari. Elyas Mohammed getting squeezed off the track. He'll try and report it. He'll try and say that he was not left enough racing room, but he dived off and to go through the sausage cups. Now here goes Fletcher Watson up the inside of Le Bobo, pushing the Sauber wide. The Sauber leaves him enough space. There might have been a little bit of contact as Kvyat has a huge moment. Now to the inside comes Sebastian Krog. Does he hit the Sauber? He almost makes contact with the car in front, and Kvyat on the outside, just trying to keep that Haas's rear end under control. But it is John Manning from Marcel Hull, Elyas Mohammed, who's safe to say he got mugged off at the turn 2 runoff. Then Fletcher Watson, Le Bobo, Sebastian Krog, Kvyat, Max Amalan, Linus Strid, and Ariane Poufran round out the top 10. Max Amalan is going side by side with Kvyat here. How rough is he going to be? Kvyat just leaves him enough car space, and Max Amalan's now all over the curb that in previous game would have sent you into the stratosphere of the barriers at turn 3, but thankfully the Red Bull keeps it under control, and on the mediums he'll now look to close back up to Sebastian Krog with that fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 14.1. Elyas Mohammed, speaking of, breezing past the Red Bull and using his battery and DRS, and almost put 7/10 of a gap already as they got to turn 2. That was huge. Le Bobo gets another move done, and this time it's on Fletcher Watson, who drops down to P5. This, of course, equal tides for those two, but Sebastian Krog on the mediums behind will be lurking and waiting for his moment to strike. Fletcher Watson, though, all over the back of Le Bobo. Is he finally going to get the move done here? Down into turn 1. It's the Sauber versus the Racing Bull, and the Racing Bull tucks back in. And Fletcher Watson will now look to try and pull away once again like he did to Kvyat. Here goes Elyas Mohammed then on lap 31. He's got the new tyres. He's going to look to try and breeze past John Manning, who lets him through this time, but he's going to look for the switchback on the Ferrari. And it'll be crucial for his race that he stays within a second of Elyas Mohammed, who is going to work so hard to try and push the Williams out. But at the moment, John Manning looks like he's still got the grip to stay behind. Surely it's like taking candy from a baby here. Tilda Williams as Marcel Hull to the outside. Nothing else John could do now. The harder tyre has proven superior, and Elyas Mohammed has finally gotten the strategy right here today at Spain. And sadly for John Manning, it looks like that's going to cost him the top steps of the podium. And king of all is Elyas Mohammed, who will come round the last corner and finally wins the Spanish Grand Prix here in Season 8. Marcel Hull returns to the podium in P2 with a proven race-winning strategy. John Manning will have to settle for third. Le Bobo in P4, Fletcher Watson P5.